Ever thought about having babies of a fish? Or maybe having a little dance-off with your dinner? No, this isn't some wacky underwater reality show. It's just a regular day in the world of Japanese cuisine. So if you're ready to see food from a whole new, slightly wacky perspective, join us. Trust me, it's not your average street food. These dishes are sure to make your taste buds tango in the most unexpected ways. Tuna eyeballs. Not your everyday dinner item, unless you're strolling through a Japanese fish market or daring enough at a local restaurant. Now, these are not just any fish eyes. We're talking about the peepers of one of the ocean's mightiest, the tuna. Large, almost unnervingly so, these eyeballs are plucked from the fish with as much care as a jeweler handling pearls. The size alone is enough to make you do a double take. We're talking big, like ping pong ball big. Now, the cooking method is where it gets interesting. Boiled or steamed, these ocular orbs are then seasoned to perfection. But it's the texture that's the real showstopper. It's a mix of squishy and jelly-like, with a surprising firmness that makes you wonder, am I eating an eyeball or an exotic sea-flavored gummy bear? And the taste? It's mild, almost bland, but with a hint of the sea.
That was surprisingly really good.
Honestly, isn't as bad as I was expecting it. I appreciate it because the cultural significance of it.
The real magic lies in the seasoning. A dash of soy sauce, a sprinkle of salt, maybe a zest of lemon. Let's move on from the intense staring competition with your food to something a bit more grounded, yet still uniquely embraced in Japan. Beef tongue. This delicacy, while not exclusive to Japanese cuisine, holds a special place in its culinary landscape. Beef tongue, a cut of meat often overlooked in many cuisines, finds its moment of glory in Japan. Here, it's transformed into a dish celebrated for its tender, almost buttery texture. The tongue is meticulously cleaned, thinly sliced, and then grilled to perfection, often over a charcoal flame that imparts a subtle smokiness. When you bite into a piece of grilled beef tongue, you're met with a surprisingly delicate texture, quite unlike other cuts of beef. It's tender, yet with enough chew to remind you of its hardiness. This is a dish that challenges preconceived notions, turning what might seem off-putting into a sought-after treat. From the smoky tenderness of grilled beef tongue, let's dive into the ocean's depths once more and explore the world of sea urchin, or uni as it's known in Japan. This marine delicacy is as much about its unique texture as it is about its rich oceanic flavor. Here's the quirky bit. You're actually munching on the sea urchin's reproductive organs. It's kind of like the ocean's version of a cheeky secret. You dive in expecting a fancy seafood treat, and what do you get? A front row seat to a sea urchin's love life. Sea urchin is often served raw, showcasing its natural, creamy texture that's unlike anything else from the sea. It's velvety, rich, and has a profound depth of flavor that can range from sweet to briny. The appearance, however, can be quite startling. It's bright orange, almost custard-like in consistency, nestled within the sea urchin's spiky exterior. The experience of eating uni is a journey in itself. The initial apprehension, perhaps due to its unfamiliar appearance or the idea of consuming raw sea creatures, quickly gives way to a luxurious taste sensation. Let's hop over to an insect-based delicacy, Enago no Tsukudani. This is where grasshoppers take the culinary stage. Yes, grasshoppers, those little jumpers you see in fields, are a traditional snack in some rural parts of Japan.
The grasshoppers are grasshoppers. You know, they're a delicacy, but they're also a snack.
These are cooked in a rich, sweet soy sauce. The sauce caramelizes as it cooks, coating each grasshopper in a sticky, sweet glaze that's almost candy-like. But don't be fooled, these aren't your average sugary treats. The texture is a mix of crispy and chewy, with the soy sauce adding a depth of flavor that transforms the grasshopper from a garden pest to a gourmet delight. Often enjoyed alongside a bowl of steaming rice, they add a crunchy contrast to the soft grains. Leaping from grasshoppers, we now delve into a dish steeped in history and tradition, Funazushi. This isn't your quick-fix sushi roll. It's a luxurious, time-honored delicacy, and perhaps the forefather of modern sushi. Funazushi is made from fermented carp, and the process is a marathon, not a sprint, taking more than a year to perfect. The carp are cleaned and then packed with rice and salt, and left to ferment. This lengthy process allows the flavors to develop and deepen, creating a dish that's rich in history and taste. The fermentation imbues the fish with a tangy, pungent flavor and an aroma that can only be described as acquired. Funazushi's taste and smell are indeed an experience. It's a roller coaster of flavors, sour, fishy, and with a depth that only time can instill. This is a dish that commands respect, both for its culinary heritage and its bold, unapologetic flavor profile. From the slow and patient art of Funazushi, we now venture into more treacherous waters with pufferfish or fugu, a dish as famous for its potential danger as it is for its delicate flavor. Fugu is the ultimate culinary gamble, a dish that teeters on the edge of exquisite and lethal. The pufferfish is notorious for containing tetrodotoxin, a poison far more potent than cyanide. The thrill here isn't just in the taste, but in the knowledge that only a skilled chef's hands have made your meal safe. These chefs are culinary daredevils, trained rigorously for years, mastering the art of removing the toxic parts without contaminating the edible fish. When prepared correctly, fugu offers a light, clean taste, often served as sashimi or in a hot pot. The texture is uniquely satisfying, firm yet tender, almost melting in your mouth. Eating fugu is as much about the experience as it is about the flavor. It's dining with an edge, a brush with danger seasoned with a dash of culinary excellence. So let's talk about Shaco, or as I like to call it, fishy surprise. This dish is basically the sperm sacs of fish, usually cod. Yep, we're talking about the baby-making parts of a fish. It's like caviar's less glamorous cousin. In Japan, this dish is not just some weird food dare. It's a legit delicacy. It's like they looked at the fish and thought, we've tried everything else, why not this? Shaco is creamy, mild, and has the kind of texture that makes you go, huh, interesting. It's a winter thing, so it's like the seafood version of a seasonal pumpkin spice latte, but way different. Where in Japan can you find this unique treat? It's pretty popular all over, especially in places that love their seafood. Imagine sitting in a cozy Japanese restaurant. The waiter brings your dish and ta-da, it's Shaco! You're now officially part of the Cool Foodies Club. Price-wise, it's not your cheap street food. For example, at Kaniyoshi in Osaka, you can get a full course with Shaco for about 7,000 Japanese yen, which is around 60 bucks. That's not just for the Shaco though, you get other fancy stuff like fugu sashimi. Moving on from having the babies of fish to a dance on your plate, next up is the Dancing Squid Bowl, or Odoridon. It's a bowl of fluffy, perfectly seasoned sushi rice, the kind that makes your mouth water just by looking at it. Then it's crowned with a freshly killed squid, pristine and almost artistic in its presentation. But the real spectacle begins with a pour of soy sauce. The tentacles of the squid start to twitch and wriggle. It's not just food, it's a performance. The sodium in the soy sauce reacts with the squid cells, creating this mesmerizing dance-like movement. It's both fascinating and a bit unsettling, right? The taste is as fresh as it gets. The squid, tender and subtly sweet, complements the savory rice. It's a symphony of flavors and textures, with each bite taking you closer to the heart of Japanese culinary artistry. Now, if dancing squid didn't quite buzz your taste buds, how about something that will definitely add a sting to your snack time? Let's talk about Wasp Crackers. Yes, you heard that right, crackers with real wasps in them. These are your typical Japanese rice cracker known as senbei, crispy, slightly salty, often enjoyed with a cup of tea. But wait, now add a handful of wasps. Not just any wasps, but whole, crunchy, and very much visible wasps, embedded right into the cracker like some kind of bizarre culinary mosaic. The wasps, apart from giving you the creeps, add an unexpected crunch to the crackers. And the flavor? It's unique to say the least. There's an earthy, almost nutty undertone to it, with a hint of something wild. It's not just a cracker, it's an adventure in a bite. So, would you dare to crunch into a wasp cracker? Are you curious about how these winged warriors taste in a senbei? Or does the idea make you want to fly away as fast as you can? The world of Japanese food is vast and full of unexpected delights. Keep an open mind and a ready palate. Who knows what delicious discoveries await you? Until next time, happy eating and adventurous exploring!